The secret of a powerful memory is emotion. Think back to a time when you were just a child, perhaps 5 or 6 years old. What happened then? Was it a delightful experience? Now think back to a time when you were between 10 and 12. Now think of a day or an incident when you were a teenager. Did you notice on each of these occasions there was an emotional attachment to it? Although you may have memories of vacuuming your house or eating a bowl of cereal, tying your shoes, unless one or more of these situations had an emotional attachment, it's unlikely that your conscious memory was drawn to them. On the other hand, you might be able to recall a time when you first tied your shoes, or were learning to tie them, or you may remember eating a bowl of cereal if you discovered it had become infested with insects, or maybe recall the unbridled joy of cleaning the house in preparation for a visit by someone important in your life. So you see, memory is stimulated, underlined and expanded by emotion. Now, how can we interject emotion into the things that you are studying now? Well, let us examine the world of professional student, those in high school or college. Do you recall any particular subjects which you truly enjoyed, that instilled you with a hunger to want to know more? Can you think of other subjects where whole sections of the lecture vanished from your memory as you faded in and out? Let us pretend that history was a boring subject for you, and because of the boredom, information was deflected from your memory. Now let us imagine that a close relative was the instructor of a class, and you had seen him agonize over the preparation of the lesson. His hands trembled when he spoke. His heart was in his throat. But he loved the topic and cared for it so much that this part of history not be forgotten. That even though he passed away, and even though he died a little each time he appeared before the students, he could do no longer. And his close relative, he asked you be there for him, so he could see at least one pair of what he called kind eyes. So out of compassion for him, you sat up the front, listened carefully, so you would know when to laugh at his jokes. And once or twice you actually heard him say something of value, or let us say that you really found political science to be a crushing bore. But for one assignment, you were asked to report on some pompous politician's speech, and before you went to hear it, you discovered that this bureaucrat was trying to persuade voters to stop feeding the children's school lunches. He was the most persuasive fellow, but you knew that for many children, the school lunch was the only decent meal they received. So you found yourself angry at his cheap tricks and double talking style, and found yourself prepared to take notes. Challenge and expose this man for the sort of man he really was. Perhaps now you are thinking that you can see how these types of emotions could help you. Remember some facts and figures, but are wondering how they could be used to help you remember your lessons. Names of people, new facts and figures. Have you ever opened a magazine to a full-coloured photograph of a roast turkey? Steam rising off it, mashed potatoes and gravy to one side, perhaps cranberry sauce or a dessert on the other. Your mouth salivated and you said to yourself, "That surely looks delicious. I would like some of that right now." All this occurred without the presence of a turkey or any food at all. Your mouth salivated. Your stomach grumbled, even though there was no food. You knew that if you licked that page, it would taste like paper and ink, not the tasty food you were dreaming about. Why? How is it that your body acts as if the real roast turkey present, when there clearly isn't one? Because your body can't tell the difference between a real roast turkey and a mental creation of one. If you watch a horror film and your muscles tense, your heart beats faster, your digestion shuts down, your adrenals work overtime, your respiration comes shorter, your body's been tricked into creating an emotional response to an event which was only portrayed. I couldn't tell the difference between real danger and a motion picture creation. If you have ever laughed or cried or been genuinely moved by a motion picture, you know the secret of impact memory. Did you see the original Star Wars motion picture? Can you remember what happened to Luke Skywalker, or even who he is? If so, you're remembering something you saw back in 1977 for only 2 hours, one evening, however many years ago. How can we use this awesome memory power right now? Pick a topic, or your body of information or group of names, or even one individual name, someone you met at a party or business event. You choose. Now see yourself in a situation where you will want to memorize the information at hand. Next, create a fantasy. Yes, a plain old daydream. One in which it is impressive that you know this information. The more emotionally charged, the better. For example, see yourself in the room with the door locked. Each hour, guards will enter and ask you questions based on the previous hour's study. If you can answer the questions, they'll free a precious young child from captivity. You can't answer, the child goes to the end of the line. Or a millionaire makes a bet with you. He will feed 1,000 hungry children for a year if you can answer just 3 questions based on the information you're trying to memorize. But instead of creating an emotionally charged reason for you create one. Why will such an outlandish idea work? because your body can't tell the difference between real roast turkey and a picture of one. Your memory can't tell the difference between a manufactured emotion and a genuine one. But it does remember the information that's glued to the emotion. I will grow silent now, so that you may create 3 powerful emotional scenes to use with your memory program. Make them as real as possible. And remember, positive emotions or negative ones are equally as powerful. It is the intensity of them that makes them real and tangible. Once you have your memory enhancers deeply implanted in your inner conscious mind, simply open your eyes. Welcome back.